Hi people, it's me Anja, my pronouns are she and her, and welcome back to our channel for a new reading vlog. The lighting isn't great in this hallway, but it's all I have. So anyway, I'm currently in Amsterdam with my family and it's so much fun so far. We did a few tours today and I'll show you the footage afterwards. But I am currently reading 1984, which I've never read before, because I'm trying to read more classics this year, particularly classics that were published in the 20th century, as opposed to classics published in decades before that, time periods such as the 18th century or the 19th century, because I don't really want to reread any classics that I read in high school. You know what I mean? Because I want to read these books for the first time and really contextualize why they're considered so timeless, because I think that that's really fascinating. But anyway, all that to say, it's good so far, but I have no idea what to expect. I don't even know the themes of this book. I think it has something to do with government surveillance or something. Something to do with Big Brother, which probably inspired the TV show Big Brother, but I don't know. Anyway, I'm excited to start it. People, it's me, Anya. It's the next day. I don't know if I said this properly yesterday or not, but we arrived in Amsterdam yesterday morning, and then we went on a tour of a park and then a canal tour, and it was all very fun and super interesting. I love learning about the history of a city while you look at the buildings as you go along, if that makes any sense. But anyway, like I said earlier, I'm currently reading 1984, which I've never read by before. I have no idea what to expect. I recently read Fahrenheit 451, which I thought was redundant because I already knew the themes and the analysis and the plot. But with 1984, I have no idea what to expect. I don't even know the characters' names or the plot or the story. I've heard of the themes of this classic novel before, so I'm excited to see how that will all play out. But yeah, basically yesterday I was trying to talk about how and why classics are considered so timeless and how you have to contextualize them. And I believe 1984 was inspired by Stalin or anti-Stalin and the propaganda that Nazi Germany exercised. And I think it was written in the 30s or something like that. And it was supposed to be set in what Eric Blair or George Orwell, as most people know him, thought 1984 would have been like, if that makes any sense. I don't know. Anyway, I'm currently at an art gallery across from the hotel right now because my family is on a bike tour that I opted out of. So I'm gonna spend my morning at this art gallery that I honestly just walked into. Do I need a ticket? I don't know, seems free, honestly, and it's just sculptures and stuff. So that's exciting. And yeah, later on my family will pick me up so we can go out to lunch. And I don't know what else we have planned for today. Maybe a Van Gogh museum, I'm not sure. But anyway, there you have it. Those are my plans. Hi people, so I immediately got bored of this sculptural art gallery that I was at due to the fact that I don't have Wi-Fi, nor do I have service. So to find out what those sculptures meant or whatever, you had to scan QR codes, understandably. So then I got closer to the hotel, so I kind of got Wi-Fi briefly, and then I decided to randomly freehand try to go to a museum, but I don't really know where I'm going. But it's going to be okay. I'm not going to get lost because I have my landmarks. I'll be fine. And also, I've set myself a time limit so that I can get back to the hotel in time for when my mom's going to pick me up when they get back from their tour for lunch. Does that make any sense? Anyway, I look like a lost American tourist right now because that's exactly what I am. I'm not exactly lost. I know how to get back to the hotel, but I don't know where I'm going because I don't exactly have an exact destination, because even though I screenshotted my map, it still doesn't make any sense because I don't have Wi-Fi. But it'll be fine. It'll be fine. If anything, I'll just explore wherever the fuck I am. I don't even know what street I'm on because I can't read Dutch. So everything's going great, in case you were wondering. So yeah. Hi people, so like I said, I didn't really have a destination. I just really wanted to see how far I could walk in the time that I allotted for myself, which was 20 minutes. And now I'm heading back to the hotel, and I guess I'm going to sit at that original art gallery sculptural place and read my book, since it's literally right across from my hotel. So I can just sit there and read my book, and then I still have 40 minutes left on my other timer that I set, which was for an hour. So basically I'm gonna sit there and read my book, and then I'm gonna see what will happen next. Hi people, so I'm now back in my hotel room because I just wanted to go back and rest. So here I am. I feel like I walked so far. I don't know actually the distance, and I'm sure I didn't actually walk that far, but I'm so tired that it feels like I did. And honestly, who am I comparing myself to? My able-bodied family, none of which have cerebral palsy? And sore hip flexors? What am I talking about here? Anyway, I deserve rest. So, yes. And then I'm also going to do research on how accessible Amsterdam is and how they treat their disabled population. Because, I don't know, the terrain, the sidewalk was not as smooth as it could have been, as it is at home. I don't know. The ways in which America treats their disabled population, I know it's not the greatest, but compared to other countries, maybe it's better. I have no idea. That's why I'm going to do research, and also finally read more of 1984 because I've not read any more of it. So yeah, I'm obsessed so far with how the polity is using Goldstein as some sort of scapegoat, and the parallels with how the Jewish population was treated during the time of which George Orwell was writing this book, if you know what I mean. I just am getting all these anti-Semitism parallels and stuff like that. I'm not quite sure if that's intentional. I think that it is, because I think that this book, like I mentioned earlier, is inspired by the propaganda that Nazi Germany spread during World War II, particularly the treatment of Jewish people. So I think that that is definitely intentional, but it's just interesting the ways in which these big fascist governments choose a group of people or a population to blame all this stuff on. Does that make any sense? I don't know if it does, but anyway, I'm really enjoying the world building of 1984. I think it's quite well done. I'm really interested into how like Winston is going to do his like writing. Does that make any sense? Like, what is he gonna do with it? Who are these other characters? I've heard that there's a character that might be inspired by George's late wife. Like, I know they had 2 wives, and his second one they married like 3 months before his death, and I've heard that there's a character in this book that's inspired by her, but I'm not quite sure. Anyway, that's where I'm at right now. The way that Winston talks about women is absolutely so insane. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? In this weird world, sex is like forbidden. Desire is considered like criminalized or whatever. And the only point of marriage is to have kids. And Winston and Catherine failed to have kids for whatever reason. It's not really explained why that didn't happen. But anyway, they parted ways due to that. So I understand Winston like resenting Catherine, I guess, but like disliking all women and generalizing them all to like think that they're so dumb and stupid and like, I don't know, he's just so odd. I don't like him as a person. I don't like him as a character. I don't really know if I'm supposed to necessarily, but Catherine deserves better. I don't even know if she appeals as a character. I know that he falls in love with maybe somebody named Julia or something like that, but like, what the hell, dude? It was so misogynistic. Hi people, so it's now the next day. Yesterday, instead of going to the Van Gogh Museum, which I believe we're going to today, later in the afternoon, today my family went on another bike tour, which again I opted out of because I am so out of shape. And also, I don't really enjoy cycling that much, honestly. But anyway, yesterday we were supposed to go to the Van Gogh Museum, but we didn't because it was all booked out. So we bought tickets yesterday for today, I think at like 3:15 or something like that. But anyway, yesterday, as you saw in all the footage, we went to this museum instead that I do not know how to pronounce. But it was so much fun, and I loved seeing the art from different eras. Although, honestly, I didn't really read all the descriptions as to what the paintings or the specific artists like were necessarily, because I just was drawn, no pun intended, towards all the pretty things. I love art museums, and I love like looking at it from a historical perspective and seeing like what kind of art blossomed throughout each era. But like, I don't know, I don't really have any specific Dutch artists that I'm really interested in necessarily. Obviously, I love Van Gogh, he's iconic, but like besides him, I don't really know of any super famous ones. Like I did see the Night Watch yesterday, which was super good, and I love that they had like a replica of it before you saw like the actual thing. Anyway, this morning, since my family is out and about, I'm going to stay in probably and catch up on all the YouTube videos that were posted yesterday that I haven't seen yet. I've mentioned this before, but I'm not really subscribed to that many people. I think I said in one of my videos that I'm only subscribed to like 8 booktubers, but honestly, that list really is dwindled down to a few active booktubers. So like Daily and the Leader has a video out that I'm going to watch, and then Alicia Marie, who's not a booktuber obviously, but she has a new vlog out, and then there's a Pretty Basic episode, as well as a Pretty Unfiltered episode, and I've been subscribed to the Pretty Basic YouTube channel for like 3 years now. I knew of them before that, honestly, but like I typically don't really watch podcast episodes, like if they're only available on audio, because I'm such a visual learner, so I waited for them to have a YouTube channel for me to subscribe to them. And then also, when it comes to subscribing to YouTube channels or following artists, like online or whatever, I have to listen to a few like videos of their content for me to like commit to them, if that makes any sense. So with that said, that's why I would say that I've been subscribed to Pretty Basic since, I don't know, 2022, like late 2022, early 2023, I would say. Maybe my senior year of college. I know some people have been subscribed to Alicia and Remy's lives since they started out on YouTube, but for me, I'm like fairly new to the fandom or whatever, because like I didn't grow up with social media back in like 2014 or whatever. Like I only started social media, I would say, in 2018 or something. I don't know, which is like something that I chose for sure. It's not that I wasn't allowed to or anything like that. I just wasn't really interested, frankly, when I was younger. And I don't remember why specifically. But anyway, all that to say, that's what I'm going to do today. And I'm also going to edit this video and see how long it is, because I don't know how long this video is right now. Because if it is too long, then I might just finish it here and then start a new video tomorrow. Because again, start a new video today, because I'm going to include footage from the Van Gogh Museum today in a next video, is what I'm trying to say. Anyway, all that to say, those are my plans. It's now the end of the day and I'm going to bed, but I have a few updates for you. Today we went to the Van Gogh Museum, which was more crowded than the last museum, which means that there was less footage there, because I didn't obviously want to dox any of these random strangers. But it was really good and really fun. He is quite talented, and that is something that is actually timeless, because second of all, I finished 1984 just now, and I rated it 3 stars, because Winston as a character is not really someone that I really enjoy, and I felt like the entire time, and I'm going to spoil the ending, the entire time I wasn't necessarily rooting for him to like rebel against the government or anything like that, because the thing about reading books, like YA books, about rebelling against the government, they always have a group. and he is just one person. And to rebel against such a system like that, you need more people on your side. You need bigger numbers, you know what I mean? As for his romance with Julia, again, I didn't really care about it because I didn't ship them. So the ending and everything was definitely more violent and more bleak than I was really expecting. But also, I don't know, maybe I'm naive, maybe I'm privileged, I don't know what to call it really, but like the themes about surveillance and propaganda and everything seemed incredibly obvious to me. I don't know. Anyway, all that to say, I'm going to end this video here. I hope that you enjoyed it, and maybe I'll film again tomorrow too. I don't know, this video, when I edited it, is much longer than I was really expecting. But anyway, in conclusion, I'm enjoying Amsterdam so far, except for the bland food. But in general, this trip thus far has been fun. So I hope that you are also enjoying this video. So in conclusion, if you enjoy this video, please don't hesitate to give it a big thumbs up. Comment down below the sunflower emoji if you made it all the way to the end of the video. Thanks for watching. Subscribe to my channel if you're new. And I'll see you in my next video. Bye.